Is President Biden doing all that it takes to send up the fourth stimulus check? Or do you think he should do a better job in this?
Well, first of all, it's questionable whether he does control Mariupol. One thing for sure we know about Mariupol. He should allow humanitarian corridors to let people on that steel mill and other places that are buried under rubble to get out. That's what any head of state would do in such a circumstance. And so...
Breaking news, there are a new few dates that have been released and revealed as to when Congress could be passing the final fourth stimulus package. Chuck Schumer has set a new deadline for when Congress must get the Build Back Better bill signed into law. A new, huge stimulus check payment could be on the way for many of you guys. Once passed, the one-time stimulus checks will go to county employees in Wisconsin. A county executive told reporters, "I'm hoping this one-time payment will help all of our workers navigate the price hikes that we are all experiencing at the grocery stores, gas stations, and other goods and services that families depend on. Anywhere between $500 and $1,500 will be automatically deposited into most New Mexico's bank accounts over the next few months." The free money from the state government comes after New Mexico lawmakers passed two separate economic aid packages this year amid record oil revenues and rising cost of living, including higher gas prices. I know many of you are wondering how much money you could receive and see in your own bank account. Well, some of the money is coming from the bill that lawmakers passed during a regular legislative session in February 2022. Lawmakers also passed a second package on April 5th, and the governor has already signed. The latest legislation passed on April 5th, so people can start receiving the funds very, very soon. Surviving spouses and married individuals filing jointly are going to receive $1,000 in New Mexico. And joint filers will receive $500 for the first payment, single filers will receive $250 for the first payment, and then the second payment of the two-part rebate will come sometime in the month of August. As with the first payment, how much you get depends on filing status. Joint filers will get $500 and individual filers will get $250. If you don't make enough money to file taxes, you can still get some cash from the state. House Bill 2 provides a so-called relief payment to fill in the gaps. Relief payments for non-tax filers are on a first-come, first-served basis, and they'll only last until a $20 million fund is exhausted. Applicants will be required to give a Social Security number or ITIN to the state for proof of identification. To get a relief payment, if you meet the requirements, you will have to fill out an application with the Human Services Department. So you want to make sure to take action soon to receive this extra stimulus money. Peter DeFazio has also announced the Stop Gas Price Gouging Tax and Rebate Act. The bill does not use a national gas price average as a measuring stick, but does call for households to receive a monthly advance tax credit, similar to last year's monthly child tax credit. DeFazio said in a press release, Big Oil will pay one-time 50% windfall profit tax on any adjustable taxable income in 2022 that exceeds 110% of their average adjusted taxable income. So the size of your payments depends on multiple factors. If you found this video useful or helpful, then subscribe to the channel. So will stimulus checks be going out to everybody?
Half of the Earth's landmass would be inhabitable to human life. That's what that means. And that is if we choose to do nothing. So that's why what we have to do right now and our responsibility is to dramatically change and dramatically alter the way that our economy is dependent on fossil fuels and to transition that into an opportunity. Now the good news is that transitioning our energy sources is a big job. And it's going to put millions of people to work. It can put millions of us to work in order to transition to a zero-emission economy and a drawdown economy. So that's the opportunity that's there. But what does this mean for Queens and the Bronx specifically? What does this mean for us? Queens right now, geographically, is the borough with the most land area at risk of future coastal flooding due to sea level rise. The Bronx has higher elevations. Brooklyn has higher elevations, for example. Queens has the most land area at risk when it comes to flooding. And we just started to see just a sneak peek of that in terms of what happened with Hurricane Ida last year. Global warming is here and the climate crisis is here. And our job is not, our responsibility right now is choosing what our response to it will be. It's going to require a lot of infrastructure investment. It's going to require resiliency in our subway systems. It's going to require
rides for 3 million people per day. In an official statement, the governor said that direct relief will address this issue, that we all are struggling to address, and that's an issue of gas prices in our state, but of course all across this country. This direct relief is on top of the $10 billion plus we've distributed over the last year with a Golden State stimulus. So Newsom's plan, everybody, must be approved by the legislature. Democratic leaders already have said that don't support any proposal to temporarily halt an increase in the state's gas tax. There are also many Democrats that don't like the idea of giving money to everybody. Right now, the proposal does not have an income requirement, and eligibility for the proposal will be based on vehicle registration, not tax records. So friends, throughout the US, more than 41.5 million Americans receive SNAP benefits every month. You must apply for SNAP in a state in which you live and meet certain bank balance limits, and the total amount of SNAP benefits your household gets each month is called an allotment. To prevent a government shutdown later this month, sending the measure to the Senate. The bill approved by the House would keep the government running at current levels through March 11th, and Chuck Schumer said he plans to vote on the spending bill quickly and in time. Congress in recent years has often failed to pass full-year appropriations bills, bouncing between last-minute and short-term legislative efforts to keep the government funding. Lapses in funding can lead to furloughs of federal workers and disruptions in the economy. Yes, lawmakers are coming very close to a new deadline. It's going to send out more financial relief to the people. Nancy Pelosi, progressive lawmakers have announced that they want to give the next stimulus relief bill passed in just a very few couple of weeks. Democrats have to use the budget reconciliation process once again. And remember everybody, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. I want to make sure that every member of my community receives the much-needed stimulus checks that everybody needs. So there are some big new developments on the next round of payments. And according to the Hill, caucus leaders are urging that a Democrat-controlled Senate pass President Biden's Build Back Better package sooner than later. This group of lawmakers have said that the timing would give President Biden a much-needed opportunity to announce a major accomplishment during a State of the Union.
Headline number comes in as expected, hot, at up 1.2%. Up 1.2%. That means that's the highest month-over-month inflation rate since 2005. If we strip out the all-important food and energy, it's up 0.3, about half what we expected, and well below the high water mark, which was April, and April was up 0.9%. That was the highest in 41 years. So we definitely eased back. Now let's go to the year-over-year numbers. 8.5%, usurped 7.9%. 8.5% remains a 41-year high. You have to go back to 1981. And finally, we're looking at year-over-year core, expected up 6.6, comes in at 6.5, taking out the 6.4%. So up at 6.5, we are now looking once again to comp back to 82. That remains the same. With respect to comping, and the reason is because in 82, we traded all the way up to 9.1.